That's not the right opening. We meant to have the other opening with the countdown, the whole thing. That's not.
Do you want to start it again just for fun? You want to do it just for shits and
I don't know
giggles?
if I can restart it, but I think I can maybe find it here. Maybe I'll find it and just play it.
You don't have to restart it. You could just play it, and then it'll feel like home.
It'll feel like brand new, right? Let's try it. There we go. It's FiveStack.
Oh, yeah.
That feels so much better. Monday, July 27th.
I
does
know.
feel
I
better,
got the
actually.
5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1. Yeah, we're creatures of habit, aren't we? Good to see you. How are you, my man? You all right?
Oh, it's been good. It's been a busy weekend. Lots of work being done, but it's been good. And ready to go with the FiveStack this week. We got so many big stories happening. I've not stopped working.
Between you did this Todd Blanche piece with Ann P. Mitchell and Ellie this morning. We'll get to that. That's a crazy story. We'll talk about Barron Trump being at the centrifuge of the manosphere and Andrew Tate. That's going on down in the United States of America. We got a little Canada news to get to a little later on as well today. But the news that we left people with on Wednesday, because I had a big day Thursday and we don't do Fridays in the summer, I think requires an update. And I don't want to steal your thunder, but you were served a demand letter from Melania Trump, the first lady, the speaker of 7 languages and none of them good. And so I gotta be honest, you and I have not talked about it. We were going to maybe do something with Lev, and then Lev took a little bit of time off here. So talk to me. What you got your team together? Where are you at?
I'm getting a team together. I mean, it's one of those things that you don't ever expect. I didn't ever expect to get a letter from the First Lady's attorney, but here it is for the first time. We can show it to you. It says Zev Shalev at Narrative TV with my subscribe email address. Maybe she subscribes. I don't know. The attorney's Brito PLLC. You see there, and it says to Mr. Shalev and Ms. Ongaro. It says their demand to retreat, apologize, and compensate for the false, malicious, and defamatory statements about the First Lady of the United States of America. Which I was surprised. I was like, firstly, it's interesting that she addresses herself or her clients, his clients, as the First Lady, not as Melania Trump. But, there she is, the First Lady. The law firm serves as litigation counsel for the First Lady of the United States of America, Melania Trump, hereinafter referred to as Mrs. Trump. Please direct all future correspondence relating to this matter to my attention, pursuant to Florida Statute 770.01. This correspondence demands that Zev Shalev and Amanda Ongaro, collectively the defendants, immediately retract the false, malicious, and defamatory statements made about Mrs. Trump in the YouTube video entitled "Special Report: The First Lady Spy Scandal." Amanda Ongaro live and unfiltered with Zev Shalev. The failure to comply will leave Mrs. Trump with no choice but to pursue any and all legal rights and remedies available to recover damages for the overwhelming financial and reputational harm that defendants have caused her to suffer. Overwhelming, really overwhelming.
She's only made $1 billion in the White House this year. In the last 20 months.
She's suffering. I could tell she's suffering. Right?
What have you done to that poor woman? What have you done?
She must be having a really hard time. The false, malicious, and defamatory statements in the video, defendant published with malicious intent. Nonsense. The following false and defamatory statement about Mrs. Trump, the First Lady spy scandal. I guess that's what they're complaining about, is the name of the story, which is not about her being a spy, by the way. It's about spies around her. But that's okay. We'll get
you made that painfully clear. Yeah. I've done these shows with you for a long time. You made that painfully clear.
Yeah, I just was like, I never said she's a spy. And then there's this comment that they've selectively chosen from there and from the reporting, which is, what is she trying to hide? Why come out with a statement like that without ever needing to? This was regarding her really unusual statement a few months ago, where she tries to explain.
That was on our show, by the way. Yeah. That was on the FiveStack. You asked that question as soon as, yeah. They've been through all of your shit, by the way, just in case you haven't noticed.
I'm guessing she's a fan. I don't know. I guess she watches.
She's a huge fan.
She watches all the time. Donald Trump watches too. So, it's really the man that you have in common with her. This is the question I'm asking, which is Paolo Zamponi. Like, what is she trying to hide? Yeah. That is not a malicious statement or anything like a malicious statement in either case, nor are they false, nor are they defamatory. And certainly my lawyers agree that this is not any of these things. So this is one of those letters you get that are intended to scare the hell out of me from continuing to report on the news and the investigation.
And from talking to Amanda Ungaro, who's busy just flipping up like all kinds of issues for the Trump family. Right?
Amanda Ungaro has a lot of emails, and she keeps sharing them. And many of them I have now seen the new ones because I was trying to figure out exactly what her point was, what the First Lady's point was. So there's no case here per se. This is just an intimidation tactic. This is just to get me to spend money on an attorney, to go to Florida, to stand in front of in Florida, to be spanked in whatever way that they will want to spank me. It could land up in someone like Eileen Cannon's courthouse, which would be.
You don't know. It's a toss of the dice down in Florida because of the way they stack the courts. Sorry, continue.
No, but this is unheard of. I mean, the First Lady coming after an independent journalist for essentially warning her that there was a potential mole, a potential Russian operative in her midst that could be a national security crisis. Instead of owning the fact that, maybe they should look into the national security crisis that they have in the State Department by having a potential Russian operative working for them.
You're trying to help
the journalist who's alerting her to that.
You're trying to help. And she's like, you need to stop telling me to look for interference from foreign governments in the East Wing, which is no longer there, or Mar-a-Lago. Leave me alone. These are defamatory statements. To me, that's more of this Trump derangement syndrome stuff. And listen, let me just, if I can, give you some backstory into Brito PLLC, a boutique litigation firm in Coral Gables, Florida, led by founding partner Alejandro Brito, who's very good friends with the Trump crime family. I just wanted to point that out. Firm gained public attention, scrutiny for handling high-profile, aggressive defamation and commercial suits on behalf of Donald Trump, his family, against major media organizations. Congratulations, you're a major media organization.
Gee, thanks.
I just want you to know. Yeah.
Thanks, Dean.
And they've recently drawn several federal court sanctions. Florida barred disciplinary inquiries ongoing about Mr. Brito's litigation conduct and record. So you have been sued by the First Lady and her ambulance chaser, who I'm looking at a picture of this fuck, and he's standing next to Trump at the Resolute desk, and Trump's doing one of these. This is just a fucking legal pilot fish, this guy. And I'm not going to say anything about these allegations, but I can tell you this. They're going to go away, unlike whatever STI that Donald Trump has. It's never, I'm pretty sure, it's going to go away. She's got nothing. This is just a joke. It's an ambulance chaser getting paid a stipend to come after you, to get people to shut you up and to shut Amanda Ungaro up. And to your point, she's got hundreds of millions of followers. She's made hundreds of millions of dollars in the last 20 months with this stupid fucking Amazon movie, all her other crypto grifts like the Melania meme coin. And this guy's like, whoa. Whoa! How dare you defame the reputation of the First Lady by asking if there's a spy in the White House? How dare you?
Now, to be clear, I've not been sued by her yet. This is just her asking me to retract.
It's a demand letter.
To retract what I've said, which I don't even know how to retract it because it's just accurate. It's just accurate reporting, and there are so many facts and detailed emails in the reporting we've done around Paolo Zampoli that it's very hard to argue against that being a factual story because they're all facts. They're just all there. The emails are newly released, so the public hasn't seen them. Therefore, they're newsworthy. And she is a public figure. We do remind the First Lady she's a public figure. Where you can actually, when you're in politics and in public life, expect people to say things about you, especially when you're in an elected official, capacity. I mean, it's like, how can we not speak about her? Now, did I have any intention of maligning her? No, I'm trying to alert you that there is a potential mole inside your immediate circle, that there is a potential, a national security.
She knows.
I mean, she might know, but that was the intention. That is the intention. There's nothing.
I know. There's no there. Yeah. And I apologize because, listen, as someone who has been sued by people with lots of money and who has won those lawsuits, these are called slap suits. They're They're litigation lawsuits meant to do exactly this, which is to make Zev panic, make Zev anxious, make Zev not have enough money to be able to buy groceries, make Zev decide that he needs to go in a different direction with his content, make Zev poor, make Zev quiet. That is what these letters are for. And yeah, like four or five over the past 10 years of people that have come after me, and they've all gone the same way this one's going to go, which is go fuck yourself.
This is my first time, so I've never had one of these.
Welcome.
Because I'm a pretty buttoned down journalist. I don't really, I don't let stuff happen on my platform that I'm not really sure of. I wouldn't, in a million years, dream of doing something like that. So that's why I'm really surprised to be getting this kind of thing. It was a hell of a surprise to get something like this.
You know what? A nice surprise, because people are going to want to know how this goes, right? And I think it is your journalistic duty to be able to stand tall, shoulders back, chin up, and take us on a journey to help us understand legally how a podcaster with tens of thousands of followers beats the fascist wife of a fascist and the first lady of a fascist president at her own bullshit lawfare game, where she's alleged you've hurt her ability to make money.
Well, the thing is, she's not actually losing money this year. She's actually doing very well. I mean, we had this on the Grift Clock the other day, and it's now got its own URL, by the way, if everyone wants to check it out at griftclock.com. This is the amount of money the Trump family has now made in just this short amount of time. Oh, I keep losing it. It's happened again. Every time I go to some other video source, we lose Dean. But this is the counter as at griftclock.com of how much money the First Lady and her husband and the First Family are making off you, the American taxpayer, as they're grifting away. So she's not losing money this year. She's gaining money. I don't think I've actually in any way harmed her ability to make money at all. It would be very hard to assume that I've done anything like that. But there we go. If anyone wants to check it out, griftclock.com. I'll put the URL up there. Use it for whatever you like. It's totally free. If you have a website, if you have a publication, if you're going to newspapers, whatever it is, feel free to use this in any capacity whatsoever. Back to the letter. Here's Dean, and hopefully this won't kill us as I
We're good.
this. We're good? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch anything.
Don't touch it.
Okay, I'm not touching it.
Whatever you do, don't touch it.
We'll just leave it up there for the whole show.
Just leave it up the whole show. You should, because this is how much money that goes into Melania's pocket and Donald Trump's pocket and the Trump crime family's pocket. And she just sued you for taking all of that money that's going in there at $107 a second, I just want to add, to the tune of almost $2 billion so far. So this Grift Clock is not going to stand up in discovery for her.
I don't think she's losing money this year. I think she's become, essentially very much richer in the last year. And I don't think you can point to any of my reporting in any way indicating that she's lost any money.
Correct.
At all.
That's the whole ball game, dude. That's the whole ball game. Anyway, we're with you. Everybody go and subscribe to Zev Shalev narrative.org. Go do it now. Become a paid subscriber. Help this man not only stay on his feet, but push back, because this is not going to be a cheap episode. It is not going to come for free. And everybody that buys a subscription to Zev not only learns something, gets underneath the hood of what it is that upset Melania Trump so much and the Trump crime family. So make sure you do that, narrative.org. Support, subscribe, share. Support, subscribe, share, and make sure you do that now.
You're so nice to say that. Thanks, Dean. I hope I didn't lose you there.
Of course.
As we zoomed in. Let's get into the number 5 story in the countdown today, which involves another member of the Trump family, Barron Trump. This is a big story you were developing around Trump and the Tate brothers. I was stunned to hear how much of a connection there is between Barron and those two guys that are still in solitary confinement right now, awaiting extradition to the United Kingdom. But it turns out that Barron may have to testify.
Yeah. And if Representative Ansari has her way, he's going to testify like before the end of the year. They want to subpoena Barron Trump. Listen, he's at the center of this shit. Part of the thing that a lot of people understand is the importance of the quiet Barron Trump. Right now, he's 18, 19 years old. He's literally an adult in the United States of America. So he's just another adult Trump kid to me. That's all he is. And the shield that's been used by Trump, by Melania. Does this make my skin look skinny? Melania Trump. Does this Bitcoin make my wallet look fat? But the thing about it is Barron's kind of at he's at the center of the manosphere. And to understand what the manosphere is, it's this collection of loosely connected groups of assholes like the Tate brothers, right? So, whether it's the Tate brothers or a guy named Mr. Pujols, that's his real name, or Lance Wellers, or anybody around the Tates, they all connect when it comes to content and Bitcoin, when it comes to the money, and when it comes to the content, and when it comes to the messaging. The centrifuge for all of it, from the United Kingdom to the United States to Tommy Robinson in the UK, all of these fucks, all of these incel, grifty mega fucks, they all run it all through a guy named Barron Trump. Barron Trump has made $150 million this year, hustling Bitcoin, working with the manosphere, hustling different grifts, and it all goes through Barron Trump. Now, here's the thing. Do you remember when the Tates were here a few months ago and they had their phones taken away by the State Department and then promptly gave them back? I know who they called. We all do now. It's public knowledge. They called Barron Trump. Barron Trump puts a phone call into, what's that?
To get the phones back.
This is several months ago. Yeah, well, and they don't have phones now, so they can't really do that. But several leaked texts have come out since then of Andrew and Tristan Tate asking their associates to call Barron Trump, get them out of jail, give us our phones back, protect us when we're in the United States. We're good friends of the Trump family. Do you remember that, Andrew Tate? Yep. He's like, Barron Trump's a good buddy of mine. I give him dating advice. Barron Trump has admitted, yes, these guys give me dating advice. But that is a big fucking patio stone to unturn if you want to find the rot. Specifically when it comes to the manosphere, when it comes to the Tates, when it comes to crypto, and how the Tim Pools and the Andrew Tates and all of these fucking cretinous assholes work together. The catalyst for all of it right now, and everything gets run out of Mar-a-Lago, is one Barron Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, you can read all about it at deanblundell.substack.com.
These rapists, essentially, because that's what they're being charged with, is alleged rapists who've human trafficked women, who've made money off organized crime, are connected to the son of the first family, of the first couple, and are involved in manipulating the U.S. Legal system in getting their phones back. It sounds like you're saying that he intervened on their behalf in a legal case. Wow.
Yeah, I'll walk you through this. By 2024, according to the Times, this is from the piece that I put up today, Barron Trump was an admirer of Andrew Tate. Justin Waller, a Tate associate who was with him in his arrest video, took his chain off of him. If you saw him get arrested, picked up his phone because Andrew slyly dropped his phone. Yeah. Waller, a Tate associate, told the paper he sat on a video call between Andrew Tate and Barron Trump, and the pair bonded over a shared belief that the Romanian case was a politically motivated setup. Waller himself gave Barron dating advice. Waller said he attended a Mar-a-Lago dinner hosted by Barron, invited by Barron, so the president's son could network with influencers for the campaign. After the Butler assassination attempt in July 2024, Tate told reporters he had spoken to Barron, was very close with the Trump family, and looked forward to meeting the president in person once he's free.
Such a good family. Number 4 on the countdown today. Yeah, like really, really good people. Number 4 on the countdown. Bibi Netanyahu is on his way for a meeting with President Trump. This is the 8th time he's having a meeting with President Trump, which is a lot for any leader of any country. It's unusual. This time he's coming over as well for Lindsey Graham's funeral. And also he's attacking the New York mayor, Zohran Mamdani, for saying that Mamdani is a man fomenting hate. That's because Mamdani said the Fed should arrest him. Now, this all comes as 125 member states voted Karim Khan out as the ICC prosecutor. This is a big story that's not getting many eyes on it, but it is an important story that the guy who's basically prosecuting Bibi Netanyahu has been removed from his office because of sexual misconduct allegations after a huge campaign, it should be said, by Israeli officials and Bibi Netanyahu himself. So that particular warrant, the ICC warrant that Netanyahu is being wanted on, Mamdani had said previously that he's considering arresting Bibi Netanyahu when he arrives in New York, but not so much anymore. He says that it's not really something the New York police can do. It's something that the feds needed to do. But nevertheless, there is this tit-for-tat conversation happening with Netanyahu on his way to visit New York, saying that that the mayor of New York is fomenting hate.
This is a big. There are a couple of sides to this, and my opinion on it might surprise some people. Is that I've said this many times? Benjamin Netanyahu is to Israel what Donald Trump is to the United States of America. No bones about it. He's a fascist. He's an asshole. He's a dictator. He's a war criminal. I get it. I totally understand it. I hate the man. I feel terrible for the Israeli people that they have been subjected to his rule in one way, shape, or form for the last 20 odd years. Fucking hate it for them. So there's that part. The other part of this is what Mamdani is engaging in, which he doesn't fucking have to, right? Yes, we know Benjamin Netanyahu's a war criminal. Yes, we know there are culture points for standing up against Benjamin Netanyahu and the Netanyahu government. Yes, I get it. There's lots of culture points there for you. But he's got a fucking pretty big city to run. He's got the politics of the city of New York to manage. He's got daycare. He just announced 5 free, not free, but discount grocery stores selling things at 30% less than MSRP.
It's a good idea, by the way.
It's a great idea.
Great idea, and it should be imitated by other cities. It's great.
We all get it. There's a collective uprising about Benjamin Netanyahu, against Benjamin Netanyahu, for the people of Israel, for the innocent people who've been slaughtered in Gaza as well. There is. I completely believe that. I feel the same way about the Khomeini and the IRGC. I want them out too. I get it. I completely understand it. But every time Mamdani gets into the Benjamin Netanyahu is this, Israel is that, and takes his eyes off of talking about the fucking reason he's here, he gives MAGA and the GOP and anybody who hates Muslims and anybody who hates socialism and anybody who hates brown people, he gives them ammunition for fucking weeks. Absolute weeks. And I watched him sit down and he had a couple serious press conferences last week and looked into the camera and said all kinds of terrible things about Netanyahu, all true. But after he said all those things, he was asked, can you arrest him? And he's like, no, I can't. Well, why the fuck are you doing this then? It's performance. It's a performance on both sides. Is Mamdani a good guy? I don't know. He's got a fucking $1 million smile, but he's engaging in a pretty dangerous game that has nothing to do with the fucking job he was elected to do. And it's just going to continue to foment hate. And while Netanyahu is wrong, he's right. Well, do you understand what I mean? While he's wrong, I don't believe Mamdani is trying to foment anti-Israel sentiment and hatred,
he's supported
which is
by
kind
so
of what
many Jews. I mean, it's not like
but he's right in the sense where he's like, it's not your fucking arena, dude. But he has an opinion and it really matters to him.
Yeah, but it's not okay that Bibi Netanyahu has run a campaign against the ICC, is running a campaign that lost the job of the prosecutor. It's not the fact, this, let's be clear, what they did in Gaza are war crimes, and that is just the truth. And it needs to be prosecuted by an internationally recognized court that does that. And we are all in agreement on that. I don't think there's anybody who's going to sit here and say that Bibi Netanyahu is innocent of these crimes. I think he's guilty of these crimes. I think he's guilty of worse crimes against the Israeli people as well. But for right now, you're right to say that it's maybe not the right time for them to bring it up, because the impact of all of that debate is dividing the Democratic Party, which is maybe getting a little bit more attention than it deserves, because the Democratic Party is in a bit of disarray all on its own, according to the
articles. Oh my God! Did you see the New York Times article?
Really scathing about how they're managing the headquarters. That they took out a loan with the entire headquarters as collateral. How's the Democratic Party not got enough money to fight this election? How is it that they don't have enough money to have a sophisticated political machine at their headquarters? It seems like there's personalities at play. There's people throwing stuff at each other. I mean, it's just if they don't win this, it'll be on them, obviously, because the Republicans cannot win this. I mean, there's absolutely no interest in them. There's no enthusiasm around the Republican Party, but the Democrats need to get get in shape here as well. So. I don't know what my point is. I guess my point is that Bibi's a bad guy. We don't need any more problems on the left right now.
I think your point is but I totally and Steve and I had this conversation this morning to a greater extent. We talked about how the most prolific liar since Hitler and Goebbels, the most uncivil, brutish, fucking fascist, rapist con man. He beat that party twice. This is why. Like, Donald Trump didn't win. I'm convinced. Democrats lost because they're going in a million different directions. They've got, an identity crisis. They have no fucking money. Like, when I say they have no fucking money, they're broke. They have minus $2 million in the bank. That's it. They've got a debt load of $2 million. On the other side of the equation, Donald Trump and the GOP, cash on hand, have $128.5 million just
How did that happen?
sitting there. And they're going to do it again. They did it because they fought with themselves. They did it because they decided that they'd run anti-Israel fucking campaigns. They did it because they thought they'd embrace this big tent, fucking overly progressive, six sexes fucking bullshit. They do it all the time, and they do it to themselves by thinking that, if we just kind of hang this culture war shit on those guys continually, it'll end up working. It's been 12 years. Donald Trump's still the fucking president of the United States, and the Republic is on the ropes because the Democrats can't get their shit together.
Yeah.
You've got Bibi Netanyahu literally running the United States of America right now through Donald Trump. And you've got, like, the United States of America and Israel both say, fuck you to war crimes. In fact, the United States isn't even on the ICC radar. Neither is Israel anymore.
Yeah.
But
isn't
it's
that
just
actually arguing in favor of saying these things about Netanyahu? Bibi does have so much control over the government right now, then we should be, asking for him to be arrested. Then it should be a greater demand from people asking for him to be arrested because he's committing war crimes.
He's a total fucking criminal. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, he needs to get arrested. If you're saying that he has such control over
but
Bibi,
Mamdani can't do it. But Mamdani can't do it.
No.
And for him to fucking hold a press conference and distract everybody from the most important thing. And listen, I said this the other day, and I think it's really important. I don't have TDS. Mamdani doesn't have TDS. I don't like rapists. I don't like fascism. It's super simple. I don't like men that abuse power to hurt women and children. If that means I've got TDS, then so be it. But that's the one place that these guys can win, and they refuse to win. And they refuse to fucking say it. They refuse to call him a rapist. They refuse to call him an adjudicated rapist. They refuse to deal with the corruption. All they do is go, yeah, but Israel. Yeah, we know. We know Israel is deeply entrenched. AIPAC is deeply entrenched in the United States of America. The business of the United States of America. I know it's not. It's Russia, several countries.
You know what's interesting when I looked at the last opinion polling is the second most important issue to Democrats, 30% voted as number one, is the ability to save our democracy. Is our democracy is in crisis right now. Now, that's the same thing that got Joe Biden elected to the presidency in his first term in 2020, in his only term. But it's that fight, which everyone sort of thinks, oh, well, we've fought that fight. It's sort of, we can't go back to that trough anymore. It's still that fight that everyone is interested in. Everyone is still actually interested in defending this democracy.
Corruption.
It's corruption. It's also, by the way, Russia. And when we look back at the Zampoli investigation we've been doing, what does that Zampoli investigation really reveal? It reveals that this guy, Paolo Zampoli, ran a Russian, looks like an intelligence cell inside the United Nations for years, that he hired well-known Russian female assets, intelligence assets, to work for him in that position, that he sold illegal passports from that position, and that he worked really closely with Vitaly Churkin, the Russian ambassador. Now, I know people said that Trump-Russia was overblown. Some people called it a hoax. It is still the most important thing that is holding up Donald Trump today. Russia is the single most important player on the table that is holding Donald Trump in power, that gave him life to become the president of the United States, that has backed him up in every single way since then, and has interfered in our elections more than a couple of times to keep him elected there. And that still is our number one target, if you ask me. It's Russia and China, which is allied to it, and then the fight for democracy. We're still in that same big fight, and we know we're close to have won it.
Yeah. No, and you bring up a good point. And you know what Russia's done so well, along with China, along with MAGA, is they've managed to take all of those progressive issues and attach them to extremism, whether it's Muslim extremism, whether it's communist extremism in Cuba. It's truly amazing because people like Mamdani keep giving them receipts to do so. And that's the thing that frustrates me the most, is that this should be a layup. wiping out MAGA from the House in 2026 and the Senate should be a fucking layup. Should be a gimme. Should be a slam dunk. You've got an adjudicated rapist in the White House who's stolen $5.2 billion from you, who's destroyed the United States reputation the world over, who's covering up the world's largest 3 decades long sex trafficking operation to protect Russia and himself.
But you saw the White House Correspondents' Dinner the other night. You saw that them
awesome.
falling over themselves. The whole media institution, every single white face amongst them, tripping over themselves to kiss the ring of this president. Who just can't wait to be in the same room to give him a standing ovation as he's destroying their ability to do their job, suing all of them, including me, for doing our jobs. And they're just like, oh, what a great president. Good job.
Thank you, sir. Job. Thank you for the prison gruel, sir. Thank you for kicking our teeth in for an hour.
Thank you for buying our networks. Thank you for introducing Barry Weiss into our life. Yeah. Thank you for that. Thanks for telling us to run completely fake reporting in 60 minutes. We love you, sir. You really are the most incredible thing in the world.
You know what? Take away the sycophants and take away the as you pointed out, take away the groveling. And there was one scene, and I mean, listen, there's lots of clips. We don't have to get to him. He was a nightmare. He made no sense. It was just bomb after bomb after bomb. And I likened it to the scene in Lord of the Rings where Bilbo Baggins is speaking to everybody, where he pieces out and puts the ring on and fucks off. Basically tells everybody in the Shire he hates them and never liked them to begin with. That's what that was. And at the end of it, he was like, by the way, you'd be nothing without me. Your business would be bankrupt. You're lucky I'm here. Have a great day. And he put on MAGA 2028 hat on, so he's going to run for a 4th term. That's all you need to know. That, as objectionably stupid as it was nowhere near as objectionable as the video of Kristen Welker from fucking Meet the Press having a fucking great old time, laughing it up with Stephen Miller, the guy who's throwing children, women, grandparents into concentration camps around the United States, a guy who says, if you're a Democrat, you're deformed. You probably look deformed. You're gross. Families are great. The gays suck. Let's get rid of all the brown people. Yucking it up with Hitler's second in command, Joseph Goebbels, a.k.a. Stephen Miller. And that was the most objectionable thing at the White House Correspondents'.
I mean, I couldn't look at it. Actually, I started the coverage and had to pull it halfway through because I couldn't look at these guys. I know some of them, and they're good journalists or used to be good journalists. How can they put themselves in that position where they're standing next to the cabinet ministers that have been allotted to their tables, and then making it just seem like they're the best of friends, pouring wine, sipping champagne, enjoying
pass the brioche buns, would you, Robert?
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is going on? This is not business as normal in America.
You should try the tenderloin. It's delicious.
And, none of them speaking their minds, by the way. Not a single person, it's a great one. Not a single person spoke their mind that night. On the red carpets and everything. Everyone is terrified of losing their job. God forbid they say something that's critical of this administration and the regime. I mean, but my point is, that is why the Republican Party is still got a shot at winning in November, is because they control the media.
Well, they control the media, and the Democrats, while they've been buying everything up, controlling the means of production information, same thing. The Democrats just sit there going, well, at some point we'll buy some television commercials.
It's 100 days to go, guys. Less than 100 days. And we are in the midterm election. The number 3 story in the countdown today is a narrative exclusive. We did this an hour ago, our second story on this with Ann Mitchell and Ellie Leonard about this incredible, and you might cut you off. I apologize if I do. This one is incredible. I lost him. I can't believe I lost him. You know what? While I do that, I actually realized this is not even the right one. So Dean's going to get back to us. I am going to get us back in full screen here, and I'm going to find the correct actual email that we're looking for. And this is the email that shows us what it looks to me like, at least. There you are. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Am I there?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
This is a remarkable email that was found inside the Epstein files. And I don't know why. It's been sitting there for 6 months. But on this particular day, my AI did its regular scans of what's new in the Epstein files, and it came out with this July 24th, 2025 email which is a remarkable email from one insider in the Department of Justice to another high-ranking official in the Department of Justice, we assume. In it, the original person asked if he can give them a sentence or two for the below are the salacious statements made against the individuals in this file. And then it lists a bunch of names, and those names include the bottom there, William Barr, for being present when a girl was raped. And then there's Alan Dershowitz, massage on Epstein's plane, might be a minor. Bill Clinton, an orgy girl, didn't attend with Tony Blair. These are the request ones. And then Howard Lutnick, the Ponzi scheme and the money laundering. And then there's the actual response from this DOJ official, which looks through all the files and all the information they have and provides details of what these salacious statements are about these individuals. And the first one is Trump at the very top. Stated Epstein introduced her, this is a person, a victim, a survivor, to Trump, who subsequently forced her head down to his exposed penis, which she subsequently bit. In response, Trump punched her in the head and kicked her out. Hard to read those things. Other redacted remembers Epstein introduced her to Trump, saying, "This is a good one, huh?" And Trump responded, "Yeah." I guess, Dean, I don't know if you can hear us right now. Can you? Are you still there? I can't hear you. Maybe that's me. Hang on. Try. No, I don't hear you. We'll wait to see if Dean gets back here. Then it goes on to talk about Weinstein. It says, redacted stated that she gave Weinstein a massage during which he fondled her, masturbated, and offered to pay her extra if he could ejaculate on her chest. Redacted stated Weinstein came to her apartment, offered her a job, and then tried to follow her into the shower. Redacted stated that Epstein told her to give Weinstein a massage, during which Weinstein tells her to take off her shirt. She refused, and then Weinstein threatens her. So, Adina, you there? Can you hear me? No,
Yeah.
I
got you. Yeah.
This goes on and on and on. And people don't have to hear the gory details of all these encounters, although I posted this on the site on narrative.org, and there's a very good conversation today we had, and another conversation with we posted last week. And there's a new investigation I just posted today, or was about to be posted, which looks specifically at Bill Barr, who was the Attorney General at the time of Epstein's arrest and at the time of Epstein's death. And now it appears, that if he is involved in the cover-up, maybe it's motivated by the fact that here on page 2 it says that Bill Barr, according to Redacted, stated that he was at Epstein's for a model event, ran into Barr, who stated he wanted to see her for next time he came. He wanted to have a date with her, basically. At another point, Epstein asked if she had ever met Barr, and then NTOC Redacted claimed she was a victim of Epstein and that Barr was present during some of this abuse. Now, Bill Barr was part of this network. I mean, we know certainly that he knew Epstein early on in his life, but if he knew Epstein to the point where he was part of this network, that he was regular at the Epstein mansion or regular at this little St. James or at the Zorro Ranch, it is unbelievable then what kind of cover-up is being exacted on the American people, considering we know nothing about how Epstein died, or even if he died. We know nothing about anyone being prosecuted for their alleged involvement in these crimes. In fact, no one's been prosecuted. And now we know that the Attorney General who covered up the whole thing, well, he was part of it.
So this is new, right? Bill Barr, who's been able to skate, his dad, who hired Jeffrey Epstein at the Dalton School, if you remember correctly, that's who hired Jeffrey Epstein as a math teacher, despite the fact he didn't have a fucking teaching degree or a math degree. And the rumor was that Bill Barr was A, either protecting the office of the president, or B, protecting the legacy of his family, or C, both, right? That's kind of been the long held rumor. This is totally different. This, if I'm listening to you correctly, your suggestion is that these accounts in these redacted files suggest that Bill Barr, Donald Trump's former Attorney General, Bill Barr, who was the attorney general presiding over Jeffrey Epstein's death and subsequent cover up, if you want to call it that, depending on what you think or what you believe. The Bill Barr was deeply involved in the Epstein sexcapades as well with Jeffrey Epstein. Is that what this suggests?
That's what this suggests. And the other very troubling thing about this particular memo, this email that went from two people at the Department of Justice on Thursday, the July 24th at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then responded to it at 9:53 in the morning, is that that's the day that Todd Blanche, who currently wants to be the incoming Attorney General of the United States, was interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell about these very same people listed in this email. So all these 10 or people that you see listed in this email are the very people that Todd Blanche asks Ghislaine Maxwell about, and to which she responded that she knew nothing about any of them. We're not sure if Todd Blanche had seen this email by the time he got to interview Ghislaine Maxwell. We're not sure if he even saw it at all, but it's kind of coincidental that it was sent out at 9:53 when his interview with Todd Blanche with Ghislaine Maxwell started at 10:12, and that there is a list of people here that are the exact same list that Ghislaine Maxwell is asked about in that interview that she did, except for Howard Lutnick. Everybody else is there. That's. I mean, it's questions have to be asked.
Well, what do you make it? What do you make of that?
Well, I make of it that this is a research document given to Todd Blanche potentially, or somehow designed to get to Todd Blanche so he could be prepared for his interview. And that,
sort of like they bogeyed a bunch of Epstein files for Pam Bondi's oversight hearing. Yeah.
They said, these are the things that we're going to have to do, get Ghislaine Maxwell to say that she knows nothing about, or to clear these individuals. And if she does that, we'll give her an upgrade into her new cushy prison camp in Texas because she's been nice. She's been she's been a good girl. She said all the things that we wanted her to say, instead of giving us the truth about what our files reveal about all these people. I mean, it's beyond sick, but it's just this. It's a cover up of a cover up of a cover up, and they keep. This is Pam Bondi lost her job because of the Epstein files. Todd Blanche should definitely not get this job because of the Epstein files, and his clear involvement. If this is true, a cover up. I mean, this is him participating in a conspiracy to defraud the American people. This is him basically, if it could be, that he is colluding with Ghislaine and with her lawyers to get these people cleared by Ghislaine and these lawyers. That's a significant event. That's not one of those things you can just rush off. It's not like he didn't know if he had seen these emails. If he had seen this email, he knew what they were being accused of.
So this, you think someone in the DOJ sent that question, which led to this email the morning of Todd Blanche's interview with Ghislaine Maxwell, and that's the genesis of this redacted file that outs Bill Barr, Dershowitz, so many others with, rapey, trafficking crimes against women and children?
We don't know for sure, but to me, it seems like the only likely way that all these same names would have shown up in the interview with Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, every single name except for the Lutnick name, and even that she refers to as a sidebar by mentioning somebody in the cabinet. So I think the likelihood of that and the timing that happened, it seems really unlikely that this is anything other than that. But we don't know because they've redacted the names of the people involved, and I don't understand why this needs to be redacted. Why can't we know who two people in the DOJ sent an email to?
Because they'll get in shit.
Because it might be, it might reveal something. It might reveal a thing or two. So that's the number 3 story. The other story that's happened in the last couple of days about the Epstein files is the New York Times expose about the Karina Shuliak receiving $100 million from the Jeffrey Epstein's estate. And that she married one of the victims, one of the survivors on Epstein's orders in order to get her green card so she could stay in the United States. I don't know what you can say about Karina Shuliak, except she's, clearly an operative. She's part of the scheme. She was involved in the whole mechanism that operated Epstein's world. She pays money to indict and con. And mostly, I cannot believe that this estate, the Jeffrey Epstein estate, has been allowed to hand out $500 million to people on their own volition, to whomever they sort of felt was the worthy victim or survivor, just based on their own opinion. Many of whom were not actually victims or survivors. They were actual operatives.
It's based on this. It's based on this.
Yeah. Shh. and I'm going to get you some of the money on the back end, which is why Indike's now worth, multi-million dollars, and Khan's worth multi-million dollars, and why Karina Shuliak could be worth $100 million once the estate settles out. Meanwhile, the real victims, people like Maria Farmer, are not getting very much money at all from all of these. So, there's another criminal scheme. It looks to me like inside the estate itself and how that money is being divided. And the whole thing's just rotten top to bottom.
Mm. Man, oh man, I hope this isn't too big to figure out. Every time you go down the rabbit hole and we talk about this, and then you find out Bill Barr's name is in the Epstein files, been redacted for some really disgusting allegations, and then you find out the efforts that they're still going to make sure that nobody sees these files. And I know that they're bumbling and they're incompetent, which is why we have this email, from what I understand. But I go back to this all the time. I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. I just have a problem with rape.
Yeah.
I have a problem with men, powerful men who think they can rape people, rape women, hurt children, hurt other individuals, come after podcasters like you just to shut you up so that you stop talking about all the raping. And that's why we're here. I mean, we litigate these things every day from a conversational standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Where we talk about everything from corruption, and the bribery, and this has been happening for fucking 100 years, maybe more. We talk about the self-dealing. You talk about his kids rolling up the defense industry, the drone industry, supply chain industry, on sole sourcing, all those awful corruptive things. I'm still stuck on rape. I'm still back there.
Yeah.
So when I see people kowtowing to him at a White House Correspondents' Dinner, or we have this conversation, or I talk to someone and they're like, "How does he get elected twice?" I go back to the raping. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how you can co-sign any of this. I don't know how you can stand next to him. I don't know how you can have your fucking picture taken with him, do work for him, co-sign anything this man has done because of all the raping. And now we're getting a broader picture of all of the raping and all of the abuse. And we're getting an even broader picture of the cover-up of that abuse, because this is a rape culture. The Trump regime is a rape culture. It's who these men are, who they've always been.
All of them.
All of them, yeah.
That's the thing, is it's not just and think about what that's doing to our culture. Think about you're a parent raising your kid in America, trying to make sure that you're doing a good job of raising your kids in the right values and the right system that you believe in. And your president of the United States and his entire cabinet appears to be involved in some sort of crazy rape and human trafficking scheme and organized criminal theft of the American people. Like, what's going on with, what does it do to our culture when the people we've elected and what they're doing reflects back on us as a people? And it doesn't look very good, and it doesn't teach our kids anything.
You know what Trump said? You know what he said the other day, to your point? Because it's made everybody tired. Right, everybody's just kind of like another ICE shooting. Oh well, right. 39,000, 40,000 people rounded up this month. Oh well, right. Grifting, stealing, thieving. Oh well, destroying. The White House, the East Wing. Oh well, yeah. You just got to wait till it's over. Just got to wait till it's over. And that's the real crime here. It's made us so apoplectic. And he said, complacent. He said something the other day where he's like, "I thought people would have a bigger problem with all this." And
it's amazing.
That's an indictment of the fatigue of the American people at this point in time.
Yeah. What that leads to is a criminal presidency, and this will take us to the number one story, which is really and the number two story combined, which is about what's going on with the dead and the injured in Ukraine, in Iran. Now the Iranians, or at least the Americans, have changed the way they count the number of people who've died and injured in Iran. So now there's 4 dead that have been taken off the list of the dead because they happen to happen in overseas operations and not in Iran. In other words, they're parsing the numbers to try and reduce the number of dead. But we now know that more than 600 U.S. service members were injured since February. That's a BBC number that they've confirmed. 600 U.S. service.
And what was the reported DCAS number?
The
DCAS, like the casualty and injury report.
I think they went down from 14 to 18, from 18 to 14 is what they went down. And then
they went from 400 to 647 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. 200 people wounded vanished into the new category of overseas operations. So 4 dead and 200 wounded vanished into the overseas operations category. But 600 people who are dying for a war that has no merit, that has no reason for being other than just the ego of the United States president and maybe the oil price, maybe. And these same rapists are the people executing this war that are killing and wounding our kids. So the same people that want to rape our kids are also wanting to kill and send our kids into harm's way, into wars that makes no sense. And it's the same people that now
said to be discussing conscription, by the way, right now, mandatory conscription.
Who's going to fund that ground war when it starts? And it's the same people that now we're beginning to talk about this merging of these two wars, where Ukraine hit an Iranian target on the Caspian Sea. That means Iran now is going to target back Ukraine potentially. And we're going to see this merging of these two regional wars into what can only be described as a world war. And these are the same rapists. The same people who rape and the same people who let our kids go to wars that they shouldn't be fighting and who get killed in those wars are the same people that are going to put us into World War III. And World War III is not going to be the same as World War II. It's probably going to be much bloodier and much more devastating than that. And if you think America is going to win that war, think again, because right now we've depleted all our arsenal. We've wasted all this energy and effort on Iran that we don't even have the capacity to fight a world war against China and Russia and Iran combined, which is what may happen. And that's doom and gloom. And I'm sorry it's doom and gloom, but I think that's where we're heading to, unless we do something really urgent about this presidency and certainly kick the GOP out of government in November. We are heading into disaster zone.
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, good. I mean, that's just I'm not even embellishing that. I think this is what we're looking at. Yeah, I think it's
I know that there's this like rush to not pull the fire alarm in a movie theater. I get that. Like you're one of those guys. I'm one of those guys. Try to give people some comfort with their daily prison gruel of information about this regime. The United States paused bombing of Iran this week. Do you know why? Because I do.
Because they ran out of bullets.
Yeah. In a big bad way. They stopped bombing Iran because there's nothing left to bomb. There's only 20% of their available targets are left. And Iran's still laughing underground, going, "Bring it. We're waiting for you to come to our shores." So instead, what he did yesterday was drop memes all day. He something like 142 memes that he dropped in like 6 hours. He fucking Truth Social post for 6 hours. He dropped. As he said, somebody's like, I'm going to drop some Truth Social bombs instead of real bombs because those are free. So he did it all day, and it was this insane spree. It was fucking crazy. But the New York Times reported President Donald Trump has for now paused plans to significantly expand U.S. strikes. This is from OSINT Defender, just an open source intelligence account that I follow. Everybody should on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, don't go on Twitter. You just disregard what I said. Anyway, said expand U.S. strikes against Iran after senior military leaders warned that doing so would dangerously deplete Patriot, Interceptor, and other defense missile stockpiles needed to protect the United States. According to the report, the administration weighing those military constraints along the risks of broader regional escalation while continuing economic pressure to leave the door open for diplomacy. Blah, 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 blah. But you know who's taken notice? Do you know who's taken notice?
Who?
Russia and China.
Mm-hmm.
Who are like, they don't have any stuff left. Wow. And when I say they don't have any stuff left, let me walk you through the status of U.S. munitions. Tomahawks, pre-war inventory 3,100. They've used 1,000 of them already. JASSM missiles 4,400. They used 1,100. PSRM missiles, they've used 3/4. They've used almost all of their SM-3s and SM-6 stockpiles. THAADs, they've used almost all of those. Patriot missiles, they've used about 80% of those. They have about 25% of their munitions left, and they cannot replace them enough. So Donald Trump had to literally stop the war and lie about it. Say, we got munitions for miles. Don't worry about it. We're leaving space for diplomacy. He's out of shit. He's out of shit, and he cannot litigate a war anywhere else in this world, on top of being in the fucking dark ages when it comes to military technology, not having any drone technology to speak of, not having swarm technology to speak of. It is an unfucking mitigated disaster. And Ukraine is more important to the effort than the United States is at this point.
Well, Ukraine may be more able to win than the United States. I mean, I'll just leave this one little thought with you. When you think about why did Qatar give Donald Trump a $400 million jet? Why did they give them that? Which he's personally going to take home, right? I mean, he's going to take this thing and it'll be his gift.
Why would you give royal family loves juggling old man balls?
Yeah, or they love redistributing the power of balance in the world, and they want to be able to start wars and have Donald Trump deplete the military supplies of the United States in a war that he can't win. And he's doing just that. I mean, it's like, this guy's a grifter and a criminal and will do anything to get money for himself. This is not about he cares about the United States. He's like, what's in it for me? And if that means that 1,000 people die in Iran, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's getting the jet. He's getting the jet.
I mean, if I can blow up a fucking school full of children in Manab, no big deal. I get a jet.
Yeah, I get the jet. Think about the jet.
The Trump coin.
Yeah, that's what it's all about for this guy. And we can't stress that enough. So regardless of what the party might be doing at the Democratic Party headquarters, which is just a stunning thing, everyone's going to fight in this November election. We really have to do a real number on the GOP. We can't let them win. And right now they're up against the rope. There's no enthusiasm amongst the Republican ranks. We have to keep that up. We absolutely have to keep it up, and that means not succumbing to this infighting that we're doing.
And you need to send them all your money apparently because they're broke ass.
Yeah, again, how much money did they raise during the Kamala Harris campaign? I mean,
$500 million. They got minus $2 million left.
What did you spend $500 million on?
Those clappy hands that you can take to like events.
The joy,
the joyful clappy hands.
It makes me. But Dean, it's $500 million. It's like someone walked away with money over there. I mean, someone.
Well, and that's part of the problem, I think, for so many people that gave money to the Democrats, where Kamala was supposed to literally dog walk Donald Trump after that debate, if you remember correctly, and she just couldn't get over it because Donald Trump and his machine were better than her joy machine and whatever people that she brought along with the joy machine to go, hey, it's going to be a happy fun time with Captain Tim Walz. We'll have a great time. No, it's not. Happy fun time is not here. We don't need a happy fun time. We need someone to run the business of the country. That was the issue we had with Justin Trudeau for a very long time. This isn't happy fun time, dude. This is the business of Canada. You got to take it fucking seriously. And when you think about where we're at today with what's at stake, and we go back to this, the Democratic Party has lost to him twice. Trump didn't win twice. They lost to him twice. You can grab whatever conspiracy theory and throw it in there with election counting and tabulating. No. Doesn't matter. They won. They won twice. But because the Democrats lost twice. And the fact that they have minus $2 million in the bank and they fucking mortgaged the DNC headquarters so they can stay in business is not a great sign. And it continues to bolster the opinion that I and many of us have, including Mr. Steve Schmidt, that the biggest problem America has today is a feckless group of Democrats moving in a billion different directions with no money, no hope other than John Ossoff.
And no leadership.
I mean that. None. Zero.
It's still a people's democracy, and the people get to decide who wins. And at the end of the day, even without the money, without whatever, you have a choice. Every single person has a choice when they vote in that election of who they vote for. And they are, anyone in their right mind could not be voting for the GOP. And I hope they don't get sidelined by any of the silly culture wars that are going to come up in the next 3 months, as people really need to focus on getting the GOP out of government, or we're heading into not a happy place, not a joyful place, but we are a joyful place.
I think we're there. This is, yeah. It's been nice to be here today, everybody. Go and support Zev. He's gonna take on the First Lady, and he's gonna speak truth to power. Need your help, need your support. Become a paid subscriber. Narrative.org. She sent him a demand letter. Wants to sue him. Send an ambulance chasing guy named Alejandro after him, no word of a lie, who's in serious legal trouble himself for doing things like this to people like Zev. Brito LLC. Send those guys an email. Tell them Dean says hi and he can go fuck himself. Number one. Number two, go and support Zev. Go to narrative.org. His work with Amanda Ungaro, who also got served the same letter, Melania Trump's best friend. These interviews will give you a complete understanding of why Zev is as dangerous an MF as there is in investigative journalism today, friends. So make sure you go give him a follow at narrative.org. And if you got a couple of minutes, DeanBlundell.substack.com. I'm a bad entrepreneur. Would love to have you over there. Number one.
You're so popular. I can't even sing your praises any more than I do. But Dean Blundell has incredible stuff on his site today, and you're going to tell us all about the Barron story. Is a must read for absolutely everybody. It's just top notch. He's the only one who's reporting about what's going on with Barron Trump and the Tate brothers. Plus, what else do you have on your site today?
Yeah, you can have a look at the president spending Sunday having a mental breakdown on Truth Social. That was a lot of fun. I've got some great assets in there. You can see some of the videos, like him helping George Washington up the face of Mount Rushmore.
Oh, so nice of him to lend a helping hand there to George Washington.
I know, and he needs it, right, because he's dead. You can also read all about why Trump paused his war. It's because he ran out of fucking bombs. That much we know. And, of course, the Barron Trump having an Andrew Tate problem. Andrew Tate's issue goes right through Mar-a-Lago and the White House, friends. Watch for that. Follow us at deanblundell.substack.com. Do the same thing at narrative.org. Most importantly, go have an awesome day, everybody. You're on the right side of history, and that's what matters the most. Thanks for watching the FiveStack. We'll be back right here tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.